Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program with Nitro, and today I'm happy to do my first subscriber challenge, the recreation of the Rosetta Mission. And this challenge is submitted to me by a human from England, and so I'm going to do my tribute of the Rosetta Mission here. So let's go ahead and go into the tracking center first, and I can show you guys our target. So, just like the Rosetta mission, our target here is Comet 67P. Now, since I'm doing this all stock, and I don't think there's any Comet mods yet, but I mean, I'll just do the best with what we got in the stock game. I have a Class E asteroid, so I believe that's the largest one that comes stock, and we have an intercept here of 2 days that's going to be coming up. So that is our target, and I have a ship ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and launch a ship up into orbit and then just have it sit there for a little bit while we wait for the comet to enter the Kerbin sphere of influence. So let's see. Here we go. Rosetta. So here's my Rosetta spacecraft. I modeled this one off of the original ship that was used to launch the space probe and lander up on the mission. And I did the best I could here, just using all stock parts mainly. So we have our launch stage with 2 boosters as well as a secondary stage. And then inside this custom fairing that I got here, we have the actual probe Rosetta itself and the lander Philae. And so I got all the stages and everything set up here ready to go, and the download link for this ship will be in the description. All you guys have to do is just search for Rosetta in the craft files and drop that craft file into your game, and you can fly this craft as well. So, and there's only one action group right now, and that's to just deploy everything. And I guess I got 2 action groups, yeah. So one to deploy all the solar panels and stuff on the actual probe itself, and then custom 2 is just to toggle the ion engine that I put on there. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and launch this thing. Alright, so there we go, we got Rosetta on the launch pad ready to go. One thing that you will have to do though before you launch is you'll notice that the nav marker is going to be pointing all the way up to normal, and that is because the main control pod is inside of the Rosetta probe itself. So before you launch this, it'd be a good idea to swap control to another pod that I have inside of here. And what you got to do is you have to maneuver the camera down inside of the fairing. Oops. And should be right there. So you're looking for the small little Octo 2 pod in there, and then just hit control from here, and you'll see that that switches back up there like that, and I'll show you guys what I selected once we actually get this thing up into orbit. Alright, so now we got that squared away, we can finally launch the craft. So here we go, launching Rosetta in 3, 2, 1. And we have liftoff. I can go ahead and throttle down just a little bit so the engine doesn't overheat. And all of the RCS tanks on this craft are going to be locked except for this central one here, and I do have some RCS tanks on the inside of this thing. The ones on the main craft are online, but the ones on the probe itself and the lander are not. And I'll show you guys how to operate that once we get into actual position. I'll go ahead and start a slight turn at just about 10 degrees here. Oh god. Explosions are fine. I think that was just the aerodynamic fins and things on top of it. That's all that was. Now let's go ahead and watch my apoapsis here for a bit until that gets up to about 100,000 meters, and then we should be good to achieve a circular orbit. And that's good right there. Check my altitude, almost up to 70,000 meters. And then we'll be good to go for the orbital burn. And then now that I'm actually in space, I'm good to use RCS as well. So it doesn't really matter your RCS usage for this kind of a ship because we got plenty of it. You look up the resources tab here, we got 1,120 total units of RCS fuel. Alright, so we got a nice big orbit there. And we still have a little bit of fuel left over from the launch stage to propel us towards the asteroid once we, or comet rather, once we get close enough. So now that we have this, let's go back to the Space Center. Clear up any debris and get us close to the encounter. Alright, so we don't have any debris, that's good. And just watch this guy as he comes in to the sphere of influence. Ooh, that looks juicy. Alright, so that's a pretty high inclination as well. Alright, so I'll go back to Rosetta here and try and get roughly the same inclination and grow the apoapsis out a bit. Alright, so there we got the descending node. It's about 28 degrees. So we do have quite the burn that we need to do here, but that's what all this fuel is for. And then once all these stages are done, the actual ion fuel that we have on the probe itself should be pretty good to complete any additional burn time that we need. So I'll start this here at 2 minutes, see what that does. I'm going to burn the RCS as well after the launch stage here is finished and out of fuel. Alright, so here we go. Let's get it into position. Alright, so I'm going to cut that burn short just because I know I'm going to need to do another inclination change here. And let's see, it's time to the periapsis is 1 day, so we still got a lot of time that we can use to fine-tune this orbit. Alright, so that's 0.8 still. 1. Alright, so we're going to plan for that burn right there. Alright, so one more small inclination change and we should be good. Alright, so there we go. We completed that one with the RCS burn. And let's see. kind of intercept we can do. Looks like it's a bit off. Alright, so it might not look good, but I think that's actually gonna work. So I'm gonna plan for that maneuver. And I think we're gonna get something at intersection 2. Alright, let's see what that did. Does look a bit off. Oh, here we go. Alright, so that's the burn that we need to do. Alright, so here we go, going through time warp here. Oh, there we go. So we just missed it. It's going after us. Okay, so we need to go towards it. Alright, so okay, so we're actually still going away from it, so I'm going to switch this over to target velocity here. And we need to gain a good couple hundred meters per second on it. Alright, so that's okay. We just ran out of liquid fuel. The liquid fuel that you see left on the screen there is actually from the lander. So I just gotta burn through what's left of the RCS now. So I'll go into physical time warp. I guess we can go all the way to ×4. And this should get us going towards our target. Try and angle it here so I can get that prograde marker right on top of that target marker. Just like that. Turn off RCS and we should be pretty similar now. So it looks like we are headed towards it. Alright, so it's about 190,000 kilometers out. We need to do another little correction burn here. And I'm gonna do this going retrograde, so I can start to slow down a little bit with this RCS fuel. And I think I'm good to go to watch it from here. Alright. 185,000 meters. And we're getting closer. Alright, so we're getting real close now. Let's see if we can see it. Yep, there it is. So 48 kilometers away. Gotta do a quick fuel check. Start burning retrograde to slow down. Try and reline that node too. Alright, so now I'm going to slow down to about 20 meters per second, so my speed is a bit more manageable as we start to get in closer here. And there we go, there's Comet 67P. Alright, that's pretty much all the fuel there in that main stage. We're basically at full stop. I'm going to try and get going a little bit past it. Alright, so now I'm going to pop the main stage out. After I burn up some of this remaining RCS, we'll go about 1 meter per second. And here we go, popping out the bottom. And now popping the top. And there we go, so this is my Rosetta style ship. Let's go ahead and press 1 to activate everything. This is that octo-core thing I was talking about too on the top, by the way. And you have to go inside it and then hit control from here to control from the main part of the ship, so that way you're sure you're pushing from this engine the right way when you go to a line. So let's see, let's reorient about here. Hit 2 to activate the ion engine, and then start thrusting. And as you can see right there, it already worked. So you need to fine tune this as much as possible. There we go, so we got about 0.0 meters per second. So here we go, this is the actual probe itself. Now, you notice I got here without actually deploying it and using any of that ion fuel. If you guys are flying the ship yourself, you might wind up using more fuel or less fuel that I use. I mean, it's up to you. You can fly the ship however you want. There's plenty of xenon gas on here, and like we have 1500, so you can fly this thing under ion power very efficiently for as far as you need to take it. And because it's so lightweight, even having this lander attached on here like that and having an offset thrust, or the ion engine doesn't provide like thrust like a liquid fuel engine does, so it's not gonna be hard to control or anything. So I think this is really a nice little craft. And I have small antennas, one large antenna on here as well. But let's go ahead and deploy the actual lander itself. I'm gonna aim that lander at it there. And just down here, this is the Clampetron Junior, so just go ahead and decouple node. I'll switch to the lander here. And now this lander does have RCS inside it. You just have to go actually inside it. I think if I can see it. It might be clipping. Which I feel it is. Yeah, there we go. So there you can see monopropellant. You have to activate that. And then switch over to this. Activate all engines, and you only have the liquid fuel available in, let's see, there's 3 of these tanks in here, so there is one of these tanks inside the actual probe core itself on the inside of this thing. And we are headed towards the asteroid itself, or comet. This is our Philae lander, but you'll have to rename it to be that. Rename vessel. So this is our lander. Rosetta probe would be, you know, kind of accurate, but I think this is what Philae. Maybe there's 2 L's. I kind of forget. Don't hate me for my spelling. Alright, and because this thing does have RCS fuel, you can actually propel it into the comet itself for a lot easier landing process like that. So that's a little too fast. Let's see, let's go like that. Yeah, like this. And then you can kind of have it stick there to the surface of the actual asteroid itself without the need for a claw. And you just have to get like kind of periodic pulses. I thought about putting an ion engine on this thing and having an ion engine on the top and possibly moving the Clampetron thing to the bottom, but I needed a section to manage to attach the decouple node on my spacecraft itself. So that's why I decided to design it this way. But there you go, it's our little Philae lander. I can shove it in there with RCS fuel. I don't know if we're actually propelling away from our craft. I doubt it, considering the mass of this thing. Probably very slow. But there you have it. This is our nice little lander that made touchdown on the asteroid or comet 67P. And we're headed out of the Kerbin system right now, but we do have enough xenon gas fuel on the main ship there, on the Rosetta probe itself, to actually get all the way back to Kerbin if I wanted to. So there you guys go. There you go, human from England. Thank you for submitting this challenge. I had some fun building this little micro probe here. I might redesign it and try to put an ion engine on it just so you could thrust gently into the asteroid itself. Go ahead and send it up here towards this, oops. Ooh, wrong way. Right, this way. Right there. That's kind of where I wanted to put it. Stay. But yeah. Well, there you go. So that's my my little tribute to the Rosetta mission so far. Hope you guys enjoyed, and do remember to submit more Kerbal Space Program challenges. I'll do the ones I can. Link for this craft again is in the description. It's called Rosetta. Just look for it in that Google Drive, and you guys can have fun with it as well. Until next time, guys, this is Nitro from Mission Control, signing out.